Hello everyone, today I am going to dictate you the passage number 35 of the modern volume 2nd. 5 seconds to go. Mr. Chairman Sir, I thank the Honorable Minister for the statement that he has made. In the last 3 or 4 days, important segments of the international press have carried reports about the economic management in India, and these are not very flattering reports. I may be wrong, but one of the important financial newspapers, the Financial Times of London, said that India was heading for a crisis. There is a growing concern among India's friends abroad and interested public opinion about the way our economy is being managed. The Honorable Minister has high credentials. I respect him, but it is my duty to point out to him that the way the disinvestment process is being carried out, it does not inspire confidence. Last year, this government set for itself a target of rupees 10,000 crores, but it is collected, I believe, less than rupees 2,000 crores. This year's budget has a still more ambitious target, and it is doubtful whether that target will also be realized. As far as the process of budget making with this government is concerned, it has become a norm that high promising, high targets are laid at the time of budget, but when the revised estimates come, sides are lowered, and when the accounts figures become available, I think quietly sides are further lowered. I think the budget making process itself has lost the transparency that this country needs. Sir, with regard to the disinvestment process, we are not against disinvestment per se. We started this process. We do recognize that in the situation in which this country is placed, there is a role for disinvestment. The Honorable Minister has himself mentioned that although this government is trying very hard, there are not many takers for a large number of public sector units. This is a reflection, among other things, on the way our economy is being managed. You look at the valuation today of the national assets like VSNL and MTNL, and I submit to you, sir, and through you to the government that if the market values of their shares have come down, it is basically because of the confused thinking of this government in formulating basic policies with regard to telecom and other sectors. But I am not going into the broader issues of economic policies. I was on the point that we are not against disinvestment per se. But in the given situation in our country, where nearly 80% of India's financial sector happens to be in the public sector, a large scale program of disinvestment cannot succeed unless you are willing to hand over a large number of these assets to foreigners, and on that point, there is no consensus. So, I think the first point that I do wish to make is that you have to set your sight with regard to disinvestment a realistic level. It is no use that at the time of budget making you give rise to expectations which you yourself know that they will not be realized. The second point that I wish to make is that a policy of disinvestment should not be viewed in isolation. It should be viewed as an integral part of reforming and restructuring the public sector as a whole. I said that even if you wanted to sell the entire public sector to the private sector, I do not think the private sector in this country has the resources to buy those assets. Sir, it is obligatory that we should spell out clearly what is it that we are trying to do. I submit to the minister that when we say that this government does not have a transparency disinvestment policy, our objection is that you are not viewing disinvestment as a part of a total process. In particular, sir, I would like to once again go back to the basic issues. First of all, what are the objectives of disinvestment? From time to time, one hears different statements. Ministers come, ministers go. At the time of budget, also, statements are made. But even today, there is no consistent way of answering the questions as to what the objectives are. First, sir, it could be disinvestment to raise resources for further expansion. Let me say, we have no objection if you are using the disinvestment route to raise resources for expansion of well functioning profit sector units. The second question is, are you having disinvestment to raise resources for debt reduction and social development? If that is the purpose of disinvestment, once again, we are not against disinvestment which will lead to reduction in public debt or which will lead to increase in social spending on desirable activities, most importantly, health and education. Therefore, submit to the Honorable Minister that we do not believe that disinvestment or privatization is a panacea to deal with the underlying problems of the public sector. Thank you.